Don't cry for me, Aquafina. I've never been quite sure with that song. Are they talking about the bottled water or the comedian actress? I mean, I could see, an actress crying. It doesn't really make sense for bottled water, does it? Unless, it might be, sort of a euphemism that condensation on the side of the bottle. So it's like, don't cry, Aquafina. Um, and I mean, I don't know why the actress would be crying either. I doubt if that would be condescension. Condescension. Anyway, just thought I'd bring that up. Just occurred to me. Something else too. Something I just noticed as I was preparing and I turned my camera on. I saw something. And for quite a while now, I've had a white beard. Funny thing about that, many years ago, I don't know how many, but I was still at the library at the time. A lady came in one time and she asked me if I was dyeing my hair because my hair has stayed, well, whatever color. Lately it's been kind of brown. It started off, if you knew me when I was a kid, it was bright red. Then it got darker red, now then it became kind of brown. But anyway, but she thought I dyed my hair because it didn't match my beard. And I always thought that was kind of weird because what kind of an idiot would dye their hair and leave their beard white, thinking then that they're somehow fooling people? I don't know. Plus, if you knew me, that's not the kind of thing I'd be vain about anyway. But, so like I say, for years my beard's been white, but my hair's been staying mostly brown. And I just noticed this there's like a real white streak up there. So I don't know, I might be getting old. Anyway, so back to the point of this pointless video. I wasn't sure what I had to talk about, but I realized today, well, what is this? Well, this is actually, technically, it's like 5 a.m. on Tuesday. And I noticed my last video is scheduled for either today or tomorrow, so I thought I'd better make one. And I looked around and I thought, oh, here's something. I never looked at the local paper. We have this weekly newspaper that comes out and has all the news that's fit to print. So I thought, people might be interested to know what's happening in this area. Thought I'd go through it. Well, and this is cool. Well, here's they put the giant Santa Claus up in Phillipsburg. They do that every year. That's been since 1932. They missed it one year during the Korean War, but nobody knows why. But anyway, yeah, so that's up, and if I get a chance, I'll do a short video if I drive by there. I might be going by on Wednesday, but so that's cool. They used to put it down in town. If I remember right, I think it was in the parking lot there at the Legion. And if you saw, I did a video on that mural they did at the Legion. I think it used to be there. And then they moved out to Coldstream outside of town, a little park. That's nice. And it's, you can see the scale because they show these guys standing in front of it. It is the 18th largest Santa Claus in the world, the 7th largest in the United States. Just a little fun facts for you. Yeah, so that's up now, and that people will enjoy that. Oh, here's this is cool. The PO, that's my high school. The girls volleyball team won the state championship. That is really cool. What else we got here? We got borough business. We're not interested in that because that's Phillipsburg Borough. If they want to talk about Osceola Borough business, we'll do that. There's the Phillipsburg Historical Foundation plans a Christmas church tour. Let's see. Oh, here's happenings this Saturday, which I guess was a couple of days ago. You could go shopping. That's what it says. Go shopping in downtown Phillipsburg. I kind of think you could do that every Saturday. Let's see. There's stuff going on at the Phillipsburg Elementary School. Looks like the cops were arresting some kid for bad grades or something. It must have been, oh, and I guess they got this other kid here for impersonating a firefighter. Yes, those kids down at Phillipsburg Elementary are badasses. You won't see stuff like that happening in Osceola. Oh, what else we got in here? Oh, look, isn't this great? You got like pages of ads. By the way, for those of you, this is the entire paper. This is a whole week's worth of news, including pages of ads. Let's see. Amazingly, well, there's 2 more pages of ads. Unless it's coming up now. Nobody died in the last week. Nope, there's no obituaries. So here's something from Osceola. The VFW awarded scholarships. Let's see, $1,000 scholarships to qualified area high school students. Looking to see if there's anybody I know enough to call out, but no. Here's a old picture here. It looks like, let's see if they say when this was. 1905, Osceola postcard. Bunch of guys out killing them deer. And there's another picture from the Santa Claus. That's the tin soldiers that stand in front of it. And, you know, back page of this, of course, is another full page ad. So that's, that shows you how exciting this area is. So, anything else you all want to talk about? You know, there was one thing I was going to mention. You know, I did video, I think I mentioned a couple times about, I did the one about Uncle Joe, and then can't remember if it was in that one or another one. I thought how my mother had the same quality where they treated everybody alike. They didn't care who you were, you know. Sorry, when I talk, it makes the coughing worse. But, yeah, and I always admire, and then it occurred to me the other day that I have that same quality. I mean, and I know some of you that know me well are laughing right now, saying, "Yeah, right, you're nice to everybody, no matter what." Well, no, I didn't say that. What I said was, I treat everybody the same. You see, I don't care who you are. I can be an asshole to anybody. And actually, I thought of a couple of stories that make me look good along those lines. One of them, there was this kid used to come in the library, and he, for whatever reason, was a bit of an outcast. There's always outliers in school, and sometimes it doesn't make any sense. It's just for some reason the kids decide that this person is a nerd or whatever, they're going to decide on. And this kid used to come in the library, and he seemed like a nice kid and that. And one of the things, little side note on this with the library is I've had, in fact, there was a lady on Facebook a few years ago. There was some kind of discussion going on. I forget what she said, something about, well, you know very well, Mucky, this. And I said, I don't have any idea who you even are. She said, oh, you certainly do. And I forget exactly, but she claimed that I always treated her kids badly at the library because I didn't like her or whatever it was. It's like, I don't remember your kids, but if I treated them badly, then they were probably little jerks. And that was like my thing. I treated all the kids the same. I didn't take any shit from kids because you know a lot of kids, they do whatever they want at home, whatever. And I just made it my thing that, hey, the library is a different place. You got to go by the rules here. Anyway, so if you think I treated your kids bad in the library, you probably had nasty kids. All right. Um, but anyway, so this kid used to come in all the time, and then as happens, he kind of hadn't been in for a while because as kids get older, they tend to not come to the library as much. And he came in one day. He was in college at the time. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "All right." And then he said to me, he said, "Can I tell you something?" He said, "I want to thank you." And I thought, for what? I don't remember ever doing anything. He said, "Because you always treated me like everybody else." I was, well, yeah, why wouldn't I? But that's something that, it's something that's important to do with people. However you treat them, just treat them all alike. um, and oh, another thing about like with that lady saying, "Oh, you certainly know who I am because I love my kids and all." It's another thing that's conversation I've had different times in my life where people will say, "Oh, I'm sure you remember," and it's like, no, I think maybe I was more important in your life than you are in mine because I don't have any idea what you're talking about. But anyway, that kid thanking me, that made me feel good too. And another example of that I always liked, when I was working down there for a short time, I'm down at Community Action, and there was a kid, I call him a kid, he was probably in his 20s, came in, and he was, I think, with ARC, uh, Corrigan, or Rick, tell me if I'm wrong, I think it stands for Association of Retarded Citizens. You know, some of those things, the terminology's gone out of date, kind of like the NAACP, but they keep the name. Anyway, uh, he would come once a week, and he was severely learning disabled, or whatever term they're using now. So he had to have his aide there all the time. A lot of them, they'll, because I know my brother did this work for a while, where they would find jobs for people, and like he would go with the person for a while Like say they were hired as a bag boy at the grocery store. And at first he'd go and he would show them how it's done, and he'd be there with them. And then after they learned the job, then he would leave them on their own. And I think he'd check in once in a while and make sure that everything's going okay. But anyway, this guy, he wasn't able to be independent at all. But it was one of those things. His name was Dan, by the way. And I know for a while there, he just didn't quite know how to take me. Because I used to mess around with him. I'd be going like, "Come on, Dan, don't be lazy. Go do this. Come on, Dan. What are you doing, Dan? What's the matter with you? And I think at first he thought that I was just like the kids that used to pick on him in school. And I mean, I didn't think of this at the time because I was just being me. But I thought of it later on. But after a few visits, it was like something clicked in his head. I think he saw the way I talked to other people. And he realized I was talking to him the same way as I talked to everybody else, that I just messed with everybody. And it got to be, where he just, hey, the kid loved me. What can I say? I think he really liked that when I was messing with him, it was the same. I didn't care, what disability or whatever he had. I was just treating him like any other person. So, anyway, take that as you will. It's funny. No, I'm not even going to get into that. Forget it. Forget I said anything. Besides, we're at 17 minutes already, and that's too long. Sorry. So I'm sure I must have said it by now. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. November's almost over. Man, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this before, but the older you get, the faster time goes by. There's a little revelation for you. Anyway, folks, stay warm. It's nasty around here this week. Hopefully we're not going to get too much snow, but man, it's cold, so snuggle up and peace out.